Hey guys, Fred and Sheila McCoy, Hatfield McCoy Museum, FredMcCoy.com. Sheila's behind the camera.
Hi guys, hope you're having a great day.
We was down there making a couple of videos and thought we'd throw this one in. Our goal was to have done this one in Pike County, and we will do a follow-up the next time we're up at the McCoy Cemetery at Stringtown. That McCoy Cemetery is located off to the left of Uriah and Aunt Betty's house. If you're on the road looking at Aunt Betty's house, up on the hill to the left is a McCoy Cemetery. There used to be a sign there that said McCoy Cemetery. Yeah. Somebody has taken the sign as a keepsake, but that's where it's at. Up on the right is where
the baby, Sarah Elizabeth is buried.
Thank you, Sheila.
You're welcome.
The story that we're going to do today, and we don't like doing stories like this without something to show you, but finding a grave from back in the 17 and early 1800s is hard to do because they did mark them with rocks. Some of them was unmarked, period. They put a wooden cross rotted away, and you see a sinkhole maybe, but that's about it. This story's going to be on Old Will McCoy.
Okay.
Old Will. There's a picture that's on the internet of Old Will McCoy. We're going to show you a couple of better pictures than that in a minute, but Old Will McCoy, who was that? And where did he come from? And how is he associated, if he is, with the Hatfields and McCoys? He's definitely not associated directly with the feud.
Right.
He had done passed by then. Will McCoy was born in April of 1752, and he died in 1822 at 70 years old. Or at least that's what Sheila and what we found out. Now guys, when you go back this far, when you're fooling with ancestry, when you're fooling with find a grave, when you're fooling with Wicketry, your guess is as good as ours. So we're not telling you that in ironclad, with ironclad evidence. But that's the best we can find out.
There you go.
Like we say in every video, if you find something we say wrong or we present that's wrong, please correct us. Our goal is not to continue to spread false information out there about the Hatfields and McCoys or relations. We want the truth out for our younger generation or to come along so people will know. So we don't have any more movies out there like the Hatfield McCoy mini-series where it's fabricated on both sides. Some of the West Virginia Hatfields are as unhappy with that movie, or Vances. Some of those are as unhappy with that movie as the Kentucky Kleins, the Kentucky Phillipses, the Kentucky McCoys. So they were not prejudiced, they just made it up as they went. And so we don't want that anymore. We want the information to be correct, or at least as correct as we know it and can prove it. Will McCoy. Will was the son of Archibald McCoy. Now Archibald McCoy is the first one to come over.
Right. From
Ireland, from Scotland. He was the first one, and he landed in Maryland, and that's where he was at. And after Archibald and Will were awarded acreage for fighting in the Revolutionary War, the thing was the acreage that was available to people was located in Kentucky. Pike County, Floyd County, those counties centered down the middle at that time. The lines were not where they are at today.
Yeah. Some
of Pike County was even considered Floyd County at that time. Will McCoy came to Pike County, and that's where the Kentucky or the Pike County McCoys originated from, was Will McCoy and his wife. Now again, this is what they're showing as his wife. This would be my great-great-great-great-grandmother, if that is correct.
Right.
I can't authenticate that. I can't say that's correct one way or the other.
Right.
Somebody has put that photo on there, and we'll assume until somebody identifies that person as somebody else, have to assume that that's who it is. I certainly don't have no proof or family proof or never seen that photo before. I have seen this photo before in family history. Old Will McCoy. There he was at an early age. Here he is as an older man. Now, I have seen this photo before. And if you'll look, you'll see that was a younger photo than the old Will. And then there's the photo. I know the fellow, Sheila and I do, that actually owns this photo of Old Will McCoy. And it's as old as Old Wilm was. And Wilm and Cordella, I guess that's how you pronounce
Cordella.
that. Cordella. They had several sons, one of which was Frederick McCoy. Frederick McCoy. My name's not Frederick. My mother named me Freddie, but down the line, that was a McCoy name from Will McCoy. But the two famous sons that he had that we all know is Samuel McCoy and Daniel McCoy. Now there's Daniel. Daniel McCoy was the father of Randall McCoy and Asa Harmon McCoy. Of course, Samuel McCoy was the father of my great-great-grandfather, Uriah McCoy. He was the father of Sarah McCoy, which was Randall McCoy's wife, and several other, Asa McCoy, Selkirk McCoy's father, and so forth like that. Now, this is supposedly a picture of Elizabeth McCoy, which was Samuel McCoy's wife. And that would have been Daniel and Samuel's, I'm sorry, that would have been his sister-in-law, Daniel's sister-in-law. What I'm getting to here, guys, Samuel McCoy was buried on the McCoy Cemetery at Stringtown. We're at up there. It's one of those, when you walk through that big cemetery, that's where Uriah McCoy and Aunt Betty is buried. When you walk through that big cemetery up there, you're going to see some unmarked graves. One of those unmarked graves would be Samuel McCoy and his wife, Elizabeth. Now, it tells you on his Find a Grave or Wicked Tree, the things that I don't go with, but this is not only this is also family history, that Samuel is buried on that hill with his sons, Uriah McCoy and some of the other ones. McCoy Cemetery at Stringtown. Now, not only is Samuel buried there, but Old Will McCoy, Old Will, is also buried on that hill. Now, Will, understand, Will died way back in 1822. So that cemetery was there, has been there for a long time. And then Samuel even died in 1855. He died in 1855, so he died 6 years before the Civil War started. Sheila and I wanted to go to the cemetery and find some of the unmarked graves and show you where we're talking about. Because Uriah and Aunt Betty, if you go up the cemetery, my great-great-grandparents, Uriah and Aunt Betty McCoy, is buried almost at the top.
Under
and a bunch of moths around their graves and between trees, And you'll see one thing on Will McCoy where it says buried between two birch trees. I think's what it says on one burial site. But they've got the cemetery off in Bourbon County or somewhere. And again, that's just been printed or written in the history. Will McCoy supposedly is buried right there with Samuel, Uriah, and all of them. But we just wanted to go over a little bit. Some people have asked, where did the McCoys come from? Well, you know, we done a video on the Titanic. Where some McCoys, not this bunch, but some McCoys was coming over. There was 3 McCoys actually on the Titanic when it sunk. And all 3 of them lived through it. 2 sisters and a brother. But Archibald was the first one to come over that's connected to our McCoys in Pike County, Kentucky. And it's connected through his son, Will McCoy, who came to Pike County, took up the 200 acres of property that was given to him from the Revolutionary War. And that's where the rest of us came from. Other than that, I think that's going to conclude this video.
Yeah,
Sheila
that's
will
pretty
do the
cool.
closing. You can do some close-ups of the
I'll take
history
pictures of
and
things, yeah.
yeah, and it may be interesting to some people. And if there's anybody out there, McCoys in Stringtown, you know, Sheila and I don't profess to know it all.
Lord, no.
Otherwise, I'd come on here and say, oh, I can tell you where they're buried. You know, there's graves out there that we've disagreed with and we've made movies about where nobody knew where this person was buried, where he was killed at, where he laid at, where he died, where he is buried. Until Hatfield McCoy series came out or tourism came out, and all of a sudden they say, oh, he's buried here. Oh, wait, last time I was here, his grave was facing the opposite direction. There's so many things out there that's incorrect. We're not going to do that with you. We don't know where William's buried. We don't know where Samuel's buried, but we know from family history that they are buried at the McCoy Cemetery with Uriah McCoy and Aunt Betty. They're on that hill. We don't know the grave.
Right.
But we know they're up there. We're not going to be like these people that goes up there and says, hey, look, here's an old fence around it. And take a fence and put up. We're not going to do that. We're not going to put stones up. We're just going to say that somewhere on that hill is the father of the Pike County McCoys anyway, which was Old Will McCoy.
Okay.
And we've got these in picture frames on the other side, but where I had all this together, I wanted to just bring it out in here. And Old Wilm had Samuel, and he had Daniel, and those, Samuel and Daniel had some of the most famous McCoys in that area. Sheila will do the closing.
Hi guys, hope you're having a great morning. Please like, subscribe, and share. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye.